I put it there in terse words. And again, the staff, the production team knew nothing about it. Caldra didn't know about it, and I just put it in there. And it's so important right now. And some reacted. Oh, this is nasty message that you're putting in there, and you're threatening us. No, I'm not. I'm telling you the realities of life. And the reality is that energy is here to serve you. And it's the energy that's here is free, it's abundant, and it's easy. And it's here to serve you. But if you're still into your victim consciousness, if you're still stealing, and I don't mean that as a moral value, I'm talking about it as an energy practice. If you are stealing as an energy practice, you are not ready for our next step. I put it in there deliberately to annoy, to move some people out, to bring up their issues if they choose to continue to go on. Because then if it really bothered you, and if you tried to justify it by saying we're all one and we shouldn't charge for anything, you're not ready for energy. You're not ready to be energy aware, and you're not ready for energy to serve you. I try to make this such a clear point, and I get pretty emphatic about it for a lot of reasons. Where we're going in this work, I mean, not in the distant future, I mean right now, where we are at, it requires maturity. The maturity comes as you allow the wisdom in. The wisdom, what I call the master, is the accumulated wisdom of all your lifetimes. You, the human, have been allowing that in to help balance. So you've got the human who is in experience. That's what the human is for. And the master who brings the wisdom. Now you have the maturity to deal with something so beautiful it is beyond words. And so there's really not a human word for what I have to say next. Potent. And it's not powerful, but so potent to have energy serving you. Fearlessly. So if you still have issues, if you're still ripping things off, again, it's not a moral value. It just means you are not ready. If you still believe you have to get something from somebody else by stealing it, without an energy exchange, without an energy awareness, you're not ready to move on. Most of you are. We've reduced Machio to less than 1% here now with Shambhala. It is truly amazing. There's still, in clapping for yourselves, there's still a little bit of residual Machio because you almost can't help it, but most of the Machio is gone. You're allowing in the wisdom, and now we go to this next step of true energy awareness, your new relationship with energy. If a person isn't really ready for it, if they still hold victim consciousness, and it's like, oh yeah, there's 52 families on the planet that control all the wealth. If you're still into that, if you're still into conspiracies, if you're still into, I just don't have it, I never had much luck, any of that, what comes next with our ventures into energy is going to really hurt. And it's not a threat. It's not witchcraft or black magic or any of the other crap. It is reality. If you do not have that maturity, that wisdom, it's going to really hurt because suddenly you're dealing with something that is so profoundly beautiful. But yet, if there are still imbalances in you, it's going to kick your butt like you wished had never happened. I wrote a book. A number of years back. I wrote a book to kind of depict this type of stuff, greed, immaturity, spiritual immaturity, and you know the title, Red Lion. And the Red Lion talks about somebody who steals the elixir from their master and drinks it, and they're not really ready. And the funny thing is they kill the master first, and then they drink the elixir, and the master is aware that this is all going to happen and allows themselves to be killed because it doesn't matter. There really is no life or death. And then from there, Hans, the student, goes through the most hellish of hell situations. He was not ready for what came next, for the energy. And that's why I put that little announcement in there. Maybe in the next one it'll be even stronger. So you will be so royally screwed if you do not do a proper energy exchange. Your life will be hell. You think you had it bad up until now, you ought to. It's not coming from me. It's coming from those who enter the gates, those who encounter the dragon and choose to go forth. If they are out of balance, it hurts so bad. Incredible. So if any of you are wondering, why do I put things like that in there? It is not a threat. It is out of compassion that I say, please, don't go any further. Now, Edith, I gifted this to you. You didn't have to give a thing for it. Therein is the energy exchange. That's it. Others of you buy the products, or a lot of it's free, of course, but and so in a free product, for instance, in a free message like today, there is the energy exchange already inherent. You don't have to do anything. But if you are asked to pay a certain amount of money, that is the energy exchange required. There are no excuses whatsoever. That's the human trying to make excuses for their immature energy attitudes. My dear friends, it's all there. All the energy, all the money, whatever you want, it is already there. You're being released now from what I talked about in the last Shoud, the destiny of the soul that wasn't going to allow you to really screw up and kept you from doing so, even though you fought against it many times. It's all there, and we're ready for that next step for the most part. There are some Shambra who aren't quite ready, and they'll find out. They're going to get their metaphorical fingers burned a little bit on this, but then they'll realize it's time to master up. And then there are a lot who call themselves Shambra, but who really aren't, and they don't belong here. They really don't belong here. And I don't mean that in a negative way. What we're studying now is just not for where they're at. They're still into alchemy. Alchemy was one of the biggest jokes I ever played on humanity at the time. And we're going to put some stones in a furnace and throw some sulfur in there and then pee on it and do a song. Well, we did. I told one guy one time. And we're going to do all these weird things. We're going to chant and sing these songs and on a full moon. And the suckers believed it, and they went after it. There was a whole alchemy movement back when. Everybody chasing after turning stone or dirt or urine into gold. And it was a great distraction because we had work to do back then. We had to clear them out of the way. Like the camp trolls, the ones who were always hanging around, because they love the energy. They love feeding on the energy. So we cleared a lot of them out with the whole alchemy movement. You know what? You don't need any fire. You don't need any sulfur. You don't need any pee to just bring into your life what you need. It's that simple. And here we are.
Is that our Christmas gift?
No, your Christmas gift is yourself. Christmas. Don't be bringing up Christmas. This is not spiritually correct. You got to bring in all the other holidays then. Do I care about being spiritually correct? Fuck no. Okay, a few, yeah. Shocking update news. Adamus doesn't give a shit about being spiritually correct. If I did, we wouldn't be here, and we wouldn't be talking about the next huge step in your life.